Well, that has nothing to do with our topic, but Rico Beard to the main stage because it does involve the Big Ten in a major announcement yesterday. And unfortunately, I don't believe a word of it.
What don't you believe,
Just
Mike?
tell the people first, and then I will get into it.
Here's the thing. Another hurdle was cleared that USC and UCLA will join the Big Ten. UCLA struck up a deal with the University of California, Berkeley, which is the mother school. UCLA is the subsidiary of the University of California. In the deal that passed 11-5 after a 90-minute session, UCLA is required to pay what is called a Berkeley tax. That's up to $10 million per year based upon the TV deal that they have to pay back to the University of California per year, up to $10 million. UCLA goes from making $60 million a year in the Pac-12 deal to $70 million. So basically, you're back to $60 million because 10 of that goes back to Berkeley every year. UCLA is required to pay up to $12 million in mental health support, nutritional, academic support, and traveling and charter flights and everything to get back out of their own money.
So they're not making any more money by joining the Big Ten?
Not as of right now.
Which is why I don't believe you will ever see USC or UCLA play a single snap in the Big Ten. Look.
They're breaking even or losing a little bit of money.
So why would they do it, people?
They
Why?
want out.
No, you can want whatever you want, but we were sold at the beginning. UCLA has to do this because they're broke. Cutscene. It's like they got Roberto managing their finances.
No. Because here's what you got to remember, Mike. The new deal has not taken place. So you're going to lose money for a few years. When the Big Ten does this new deal, I think every school is going to get upwards of $100 million apiece. So now UCLA will go from making 60 to making, let's just say 90, because they'll still have to pay $10 million to Berkeley.
So here's what I want to ask Michigan and Michigan State fans, or if you're a Buckeye. If you're a Big Ten grad, you're a Big Ten fan, right? Are you like me? You read the news. It seems like it adds up that it's going to happen, but yet I sit here right now and in my bones, I feel like they're never joining this conference. That by the time it would come time for it to happen, there's going to be this super conference realignment thing. That once the playoff does become 12 and it's fully finalized, that what's the incentive to join? I mean, think about it. If it's a 12-team playoff, where does USC and UCLA have a better chance of making it? The Pac-12. Rico, nothing you're saying is incorrect, so don't take it that way. I want to know if the people feel the way I do, that this is like every other thing we've ever heard. The alliance, Notre Dame's coming, just kidding, no, for real this time. Hey, the ACC's going to do this or that. Here's the reality.
No, I was with you. I was with you because I never thought it was going to happen because I thought I thought Cal was just going to block it and be like, you didn't get permission from mom and dad for this sleepover. It's not going to happen. But now that they're like, okay, you know what? 11-5 vote. You can leave, but we're going to get $10 million a year from your TV contract as extortion. UCLA can go. Now, yeah, with the super conference coming up with 12 teams, Mike, yes, it's easier to get into the playoffs, but when you look at the caliber of teams, I think it's going to matter who you play. And the Big Ten and the SEC is really separating themselves from everybody else. So they may end up sending 3 or 4 schools every year to this thing, and everybody else gets 1 or maybe 2.
I want to hear, I want the people involved in this. And David, you're one of them. I mean, you're a Big Ten guy. You're not an SEC elitist like Kenny. Do you actually believe that in 2 years' time, we're going to see the opener USC Purdue? I don't. I just feel like something's going to happen, and they're going to just kidding. Because, again, they still haven't surrounded these teams with teams that make sense. There's no, there's no way the two of them are just joining. There's not. There's been no momentum with Oregon, no momentum with UW.
And see, I think a part of this, Mike, unspoken was we'll allow this to happen, but Big Ten, you need to get out of our neighborhood, and you need to stop soliciting other schools. And the Big Ten probably said, okay, we'll do that for now. We'll leave. And you can keep Oregon and you can keep Washington as you hand them their business card and say, but guys, if anything ever happens, you can call me in the middle of the night, and I'll come out here and save you too.
See, but that's the part that I'm leery on them leaving. Not the money part, not the tax that they have to give Berkeley. It's there's no one else coming with them. I was under the impression that was just the beginning, and then Oregon was going to be there or Washington was going to be there, and they were all joining together is what I thought.
Here's what happens, David. We start looking as fans, and we want everything to happen all at once. They still may do that, but on their own time schedule. We'll take 2 teams now, and when we sign a new deal, we'll bring in the other 2 teams in a couple of years. Because I think it's going to be like probably 2 more years before this happens. Just like, I mean, look how long you're finally will get the new Texas and Oklahoma will join the SEC after a few years. Next year, SEC may not be done yet, but doesn't mean you're not going to take those 2 right now. Same with the Big Ten.
Well, then I'm going to trust you again, and I'm going to trust your connections with Kevin Warren, and I'm going to believe it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
But the question is, do we even want it to happen anymore? That's a totally separate thing. I've never loved the idea of it. I've never been in love with it. I felt like there was going to be a necessity for survival because we all thought the SEC would beat us to the punch. It hasn't happened. Think about it. Nothing's happened. And in the meantime, this is now 6 months, basically. We've played this expansion. Winter is coming. The only thing that's changed, realistically, is the 12-team playoff got approved.
Right.
So,
but Mike, it's a slow, methodical process. Now that the 12-team playoff is approved, next year, it looks like the Big 12 is telling Oklahoma and Texas, you guys can go ahead and just leave.
Well, right.
Buy yourself out.
Because they're deadbeats.
Correct.
They got to go.
But it's an ever-evolving thing. It's a kaleidoscope. One thing happens and the next thing happens, and it's just constantly moving. So now you're seeing, okay, Big Ten, are you taking these 2? Okay, let's clear this out. Okay, we got some legal issues. Now we don't. You pay the Berkeley tax, and you're gone. USC has already been packed and waiting at the airport. They've been at LAX for a while. Like, are they going to make this plane?
Yeah, but
we're
here's
leaving.
the thing. They don't need to do it. Think about what's changed since this happened. I mean, if I'm USC, all right, the money's the money. But you just said this on yesterday's show, and you couldn't be more right. They got all the money in the world. And if they stay out west and they never show up here, you know what Lincoln Riley's going to do? Keep winning the Heisman Trophy for his quarterback, keep making the playoff, and it's going to be Pete Carroll 2.0 out there.
Yeah.
That money will be there. I'm just saying, look, Rico.
I thought Mike, I thought like you. I thought this thing was dead until this happened yesterday. And I'm like, oh, they really are trying to go because you're right. USC does not need this. They could be the king of the West.
Right, and we don't need it. The reality is we're not bringing the right teams. Now, I know you're going to hit me with market size, Michael, and you're going to wheel out the globe and show me all the big cities. But
it still, here's the thing. As much as you and I and David and everybody, our listeners love college football, it still comes down to money.
You're kidding.
And it's about when you add the LA market, everybody gets boosted. Right now, each Big Ten team gets roughly $70 million. You're going to go north of $100 million.
Man, if they get all this money, why the hell they keep hitting up their alums for donations?
And
my goodness.
But see, here's the thing.
Golly.
Along with all the NIL and the arms race for facilities, now each team has an extra $30+ million to deal with all of the other stuff that comes with this.
So look,
that's why you put up with these 2 teams coming.
Here's
it
the
makes
framework.
no sense.
Guys, it's simple. You got to tell me UCLA has been approved. They went through the state channels and did what they needed to do. UCLA's approved to come to the Big Ten. Do you believe it's going to happen? Or are you like me, you go, I can't figure it out, but I just can't see it? And the other part is, do you even want it to happen? I remember when this announcement happened earlier this year. We did the show, and It was split. Some people were kind of hyped up about a Western division, and other people were like, this is Fugazi. This is ridiculous. It's a weasel. It's a wazzle. I'm just I'm over it. I have to tell you. I'm just at a point where I don't care if it happens, right? I'm not going to kick and scream if it does. I don't care. And I still, despite the very compelling presentation by, I almost called you Richard Beard, Rico Beard.
Go ahead, Ricardo. Whatever.
Ricardo, how are you? I still don't believe it.
Well,
248-539-9797.
I think it's good. I think it's inevitable, Mike. And it may come with some other things attached.
That
when they
Rico
come.
will tell you about next.